Everyone, this is Nikachu, Merfolk Master, and I'm here with my brother, Meme Master, as we are going to play Merfolk in Modern with the absolutely debatable and most interesting card, Peek. The most, well, we're going to peek into our opponent's hand. Yeah, we're going to take a peek. One of the most powerful effects in Modern, played by people who play Thoughtseize, Inquisition of Kozilek, Thought-Knot Seer, Vendilion Clique. We have it too, in the form of Peek, and you're seeing it right here. If you love that, if you love seeing the innovations of Merfolk, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Now, before we get into any of this, we're going to thank our sponsor, themanabase.com. And if you need a deck tech of 4-color dragons in Standard, something shaken up Standard before rotation, don't forget to check out that deck tech by Connor Hawkins, only on themanabase.com, your home base for everything Magic the Gathering. And I have new patrons supporting me on Patreon, supporting the channel, supporting Merfolk. We're getting 5 zeros, people. This list did it, and you get to see the inner workings of decks like this thanks to the patrons supporting me on Patreon. I share it all with you. So I would love to thank John Kendall, Gabriel Bento, Augusto Lage. Thank you for not only supporting me on Patreon, but also increasing your pledge. Boo Fra, Wallace Lau, Christopher Dalby, Alberto Solera Ingracia Giovanni. You win the longest name contest. Congratulations. And yeah, that's all. Thank you very much for supporting me on Patreon and supporting Merfolk, making the wave so much bigger. But we have one more thing. I've got a giveaway. Oh, we're going to do some cool giveaways from now on. I've got a artist-altered Cursecatcher compliments of Madison Gigi Gibbons, the talented altar artist Madison Gigi Gibbons. We've got the Waiter Cursecatcher serving burger and fries. Now, if you want to be eligible for this giveaway, go check out the link in the description below. There is a Twitter link and a Facebook link. All you have to do is either share on Facebook or retweet on Twitter, and you are eligible for this thing. And the winner will be announced in my next league gameplay video. Well, the contest will keep running. You have a chance of winning this for each video that is each gameplay video that is posted for this league. All right, and so you can try as many times as you want. So we're back to some playtesting here. No more poor folk. Let's get to the rich folk. And this list is a bit bizarre. I got like a 5-0 with this list. This is the list, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it. I kicked out Mirror Regery to make room for Peek and still some 1-drops. I don't know how appropriate that is, but you know what? Because the world has spirits and humans and stuff like that, I really want to have some 1-drops in this deck. Mirror Regery is really powerful, and maybe I would like to cut one card somewhere to put just even one Mirror Regery would combo so well with Phantasmal Image. It would be such a strong combination. I don't know what that is though, so we'll just leave it be. But yeah, I'm trying to play with Peek as much as I can. Super powerful card. As you saw in the latest Peek video, how much of an influence it had on my list of range of plays. If you're interested in that video, go check it out. The way that Peek molded my lines of play to optimally destroy my opponent in ways that never would have happened if I didn't know my opponent's hand. So I think Peek is a very, very interesting and powerful effect in Modern. And it made me think about, there's so many decks, like the best decks have access to your hand. All the Thoughtseize decks, Inquisition of Kozilek, Thought-Knot Seer, Vendilion Clique, they all see your hand. And that's why they are so damn strong. So we need some sort of effect like that. And some people say, well, why not Vendilion Clique? And I might be underrating Vendilion Clique, especially since Blue-White Control is now the go-to deck. They're playing Terminus. And you can use Vendilion Clique in response to the Miracle Trigger to cast it and swipe the Terminus out of their hand. However, you're limited to when you play Vendilion Click. You can only play it when you have 3 mana in play. So the earliest you can play it is on turn 3, and you're not even reliably going to do that. So you can't sculpt your early game like you can with Peak. Peak you play on turn 1, you can sculpt the rest of your game out. Whereas with Vendilion Click, you might be playing this thing at minimum turn 3, but really likely turn 4, 5, or 6. And it's fine then too, but it's nice to have Peak in the early game and in the late game and also it's great to draw a card and smoothly curve out your game. So that's why I like Peak. So this list is not running Relic of Progenitus. I'm actually getting less and less impressed by Relic of Progenitus the more that I'm playing Modern. I think the only matchup that so here's the thing. Relic of Progenitus was traditionally the most powerful because of its ability to keep Tarmogoyf and Snapcaster Mage in check. But now we have new tools to deal with both of those cards. If they have Snapcaster Mage, we have Deprive. In fact, we can still even bounce the flashback spell with Vents or Shaper Savant. And Tarmogoyf, we've got Merfolk Trickster for Tarmogoyf. So there's no problems there. So the two cards that encouraged us to play Relic of Progenitus the most are now being met with new answers that we have to our deck. We've recently added Merfolk Trickster and Deprive in the last year, and I feel like I'm just less vulnerable to those cards. It feels like Relic of Progenitus is not even as mandatory as it used to be. So now it makes me wonder, well, what do I have Relic for? I mean, I could have it for Dredge and Living End and what else? Like Bridgevine decks. But do you know what I think would also equally be just as good? I think Mistcaller. And I think Mistcaller is a better fit for Modern Merfolk right now because of those aggressive graveyard strategies. And the fact that there is some collected company out there. Not to mention Mistcaller is a fine 1-drop, just a random 1/1 against humans and spirits. But also Mistcaller can be good against spirits because of collected company that they play in their deck, or at least banned company. But at the very least, it can interact with Aether Vial if we need to. It's not a great interaction, but it's still interaction nonetheless. And I think Mistcaller is also going to impress you in some other situations where people try to play with what's it called? It's also so against Restoration Angel, but it is good against Eldrazi Displacer. A Mistcaller on the battlefield basically says, if you try to displace something, you're losing that creature. So Mistcaller, you know what? I've beaten all my Elves opponents. I've beaten all my, with all these Mistcallers and all these gut shots, I'm not scared so much against those counters company decks like I used to. So I'm hoping that this is an okay hedge against the graveyard strategies. We're putting some this is great against Living End. I mean, I know they can try to kill it in advance, but do you know what? Relic of Progenitus can get blown up by Ingot Chewer anyway. Am I pronouncing that right?
Ingot.
Yeah. Ingot. The Ingot Chewer. I know I've been chewed out badly in the comment section for mispronouncing that for years.
What were you saying?
I don't know. Ignot Chewer?
Yeah, you swapping 2 letters around.
I can't remember. Whatever. No big deal. Mistcaller, though, so I want 1-drops. 1-drops are even better with Mirror Reader. I don't have it in here, so maybe a future refined list can use that. So here's where things get really weird. Why don't I have a full play set of Mutavaults? Because I think that the decks that are the most dangerous, things like Control and Tron, and to some extent Scapeshift, decks we're really bleeding percentage points. Well, I don't know about Tron and Control. Control you're bleeding if you don't have the right tools. Tron is a pretty good matchup anyway, and also Mutavault is good against Tron anyway, but something like Titan Shift or even any Scapeshift deck, you really need the Tectonic Edges to slow that combo down. And I want to see, we were playing Manlands for the most part against Control. Well, okay, let's talk about aggro decks. I don't really attack with Mutavault as much as I would like because I'm just tapping out to play creatures. So it didn't feel like Mutavault was a big player against, say, spirits or humans. It still is. It's still something. But usually I'm just playing creatures in order to add to the board. So Mutavault is the most important against Control decks. Or games that go slow or long, or attrition-based decks, like even Mardu Pyromancer. But I'm finding that I can play more accurately against their removal spells when I have Peak, and it feels like, Mutavault was a hedge against sweepers and a hedge against removal. Maybe I don't need it as much. Maybe I don't need manlands as much if I'm playing with Peak and I know exactly what I have to work around. Well, I'm just trying. I'm not saying that this is the right thing to do, but I'm trying to find what are the limitations of Peak. How far can we push the deck with Peak? What can we start shaving that we used to play to get in more of these utility cards? Want to squeeze more of the Tectonic Edges in the deck, less Mutavaults. I want to squeeze more Mist Callers in the deck, less Relic of Progenituses, and try to make this like an overall really well-rounded, powerful Merfolk deck. So I'm just experimenting with this. Maybe we need more Mutavaults. Who knows? Tectonic Edge is still like a really good applicable land, killing man lands and stuff like that. Keeling off our opponent's utility lands. So Tectonic Edge is still like a real deal. Talking about our counter package, I think with 4 Deprive and 2 Venser, that was fine against like Jeskai Control, because Master of Waves is a real powerhouse against that deck. However, I think against blue-white control, where Tectonic Edge is not going to be nearly as strong. Well, I mean, it's still fine, but it's not like mind-blowingly great. We need to have more counter magic to delay Teferi. Teferi is just impossible to beat if it resolves and starts taking up and defending itself. They're like, if they get to untap with Teferi, you're in trouble. You're in so much trouble. So I want more counter magic. We got 2 Spell Pierce, 4 Deprive, 2 Venser, and the 4 Gut Shots are just great. Like, there's just so many matchups right now that the Gut Shot hits, like Counter's Company, Elves, Humans, Spirits, Infect, Merfolk. I'm missing something. There's Affinity. I would say, like, this is good against the Classical Affinity, which we're probably not going to see as much, but still, like, okay against the new Hardened Scales Affinity, but it's not as good. And maybe with KCI still around, maybe there is going to start to be some room for Hurkyl's Recall, although I don't really think it's that great against KCI. They can redeploy their cards pretty quickly and pretty efficiently, but Hurkyl's Recall would just be a super huge bomb against the new Hardened Scales Affinity. Like, I don't think they would come back very well from it. They're just, boing, bounce all this stuff. It's really clunky, so they would just get annihilated. It's not like Ornithopter.deck.
Are you bringing this to the PPTQ on the weekend?
I don't, no, I would not. This is not built to beat our local metagame. I will be bringing something with like 4 Spell Pierce in the main deck, 4 Mutavaults, and 4 Fairy Conclave. Well, I know, I might play with 3 Spell Pierce and 3 Peak, actually. I might do that. I think Peak would be valuable, because I think Peak is also very, very good against like Mardu Pyromancer. Whereas, like Fairy Conclave is still worth something, but it might be worth a little bit less because of Blood Moon. But whatever. I don't know what configuration I will, but it's not going to be this, because like my local metagame is like all Tron, Control, Jeskai Control, Blue Eye Control, Blue Moon, Mardu Pyromancer, Jund. Like Mardu Pyromancer sort of goes in that Jund group of decks. People who like to play like, the Jundish style. A lot of black-green X. So super attrition based, got to play with a lot of Spell Pierces and Man Lands, and that's how I'm going to do it. So what else I have to say about this deck? So this list is still experimental. I haven't played a game with it since I got the 5-0, so I wasn't sure if anyone wanted to see like, my sideboard guide list, or maybe play with some more Peak, but Peak is the hot thing right now, so let's see what else we can do with Peak, and maybe we can get some more examples of Peak in a real life setting. Peek into our opponent's hand and then play super perfect God mode. Wow, games are so much easier when you have access to your opponent's hand. What can I say? So yeah, don't take this as like the best deck in the universe. It's still experimental, but let's run it again. We did not win the die roll, but we do have a Peak. Not that I'll play it on turn 1. I'll probably play Cursecatcher into Master the Pearl Trident. 2 Master of Waves. That could turn into something. So they kept. We're gonna keep. We have absolutely no reason. Sell if you're void. Oh, that's scary. I have no idea what this is. If I were to take a random guess just based on this card, I want to say like Eldrazi somehow, like red-green Eldrazi. But I really have no Simian Spirit Guide. Smuggler's Copter on turn 1. That's not. Ooh, Aether Vial. Oh baby, come to me.
Should have peeked.
No. I need to get this out first. So our opponent is already underway. I have no idea what they're up to. But if they have Simian Spirit Guide, I'm guessing they're a Chalice of the Void deck of some sort. Another Simian Spirit Guide. Matter Reshaper. Okay, so they're Eldrazi Aggro. They're like the super old Eldrazi Aggro type of deck. And they have a great start. This is a fantastic start by them. They're already attacking for 3. But, you know, when the Master arrives, they're going to have some significant trouble.
Ew.
Oh, the Master's going to arrive. Like, oh, Reality Smasher discarded. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Hopefully it's good because they don't have the mana to even hopefully cast it. So we're going to tick our Ether Vial up to 1. Merfolk Trickster is going to be great. We're going to hold this up, and we're going to catch the Smuggler's Copter mid-combat. Now we'll just tap it down. And I think that'll be fine. Oh, my plan is going to change?
Tap down the Shaper.
Oh, they're using the Blink Moth to activate this thing. Okay, that's fine. I don't want them to draw more lands. I don't want them to do anything else, so I'll just play the Trickster. Tap. Well, you know, another option... Well, no, I'm just going to tap down Smuggler's Copter. Another option is to tap... not tap, sorry. Let Reshaper attack, Trickster it, block it, and then they don't get any value off of this. And then it would really hamper their ability to keep looting with Smuggler's Copter. It would really make it hard to loot with Smuggler's Copter while deploying threats. But I think we can keep taking this damage. This is not a lot of damage. We're going to play like Master of the Pearl Trident and hit them back for 5. And then in short order, we're going to have... Master Waves into another Master of Waves. So I can peek. Would be nice to just curve lands into Master of Waves, so enjoy that. So that can be strong too. That might be better. Let's see, can we... Can't really use peek right now because there's no mana to do it.
You have 2 islands right there.
Guess I just have to do it next turn. I can do it with like the trigger on the stack. See, what's the most he can attack for? 6? That's not a lot. I should attack first, and then do all that Phantasmal Image stuff. Another thing I could do is just attack for 5. Nah, I don't want to do that. Let's attack for a ton, and actually threaten victory next turn. So the way that we've attacked now, if we draw Spreading Seas, we would win.
You also have 2 bodies to block.
Yeah, we also have... I'm not going to block anything. I don't want to block Matter Reshaper. Tell you what we're definitely going to do. We're going to tick this vial up to 3.
Sign of strength.
Sign of strength, that's right. It's very important to keep... Okay, they have 4 power in the Air of Flyers, so I just got to keep that in mind. So, for example, let's say they play a creature, activate Smuggler's Copter, attack with Matter Reshaper. Dismembering that one. Okay, I'm sort of fine with that. Their life total just got...
Tanked.
They just shot themselves in the kneecap. Oh, we're slowing down, aren't we? Okay, so at their upkeep, I'm going to peek. Give me a better idea of what I should do with my Ether Vial. I'm probably taking up to 3. They have Chalice of the Void and Serum Powder in hand. That seems like a pretty crappy card right now. Oh yeah, you can mulligan, whatever. Anytime you can mulligan and Serum Powder is in your hand, you may exile the cards from all cards from your hand, then draw that many cards. Oh, I thought it's like literally a mulligan. You have to exile the cards. Interesting. Whatever, I don't care. So Chalice of the Void and Serum Powder. And we got the Mist Caller, which means we're definitely taking up Ether Vial. And they're promptly gonna die. So I don't have any really good attack right now. Smuggler's Copter can block Cursecatcher. Matter Shaper can block Trickster. Anything can block Master of the Pearl Trident. So just gonna play Mistcaller, pass. Their hand is just air. Their hand is air. I don't care. Mistcaller doesn't do very much in this matchup. But it's a body. A body's a body.
It's 2/2 for 1 mana.
Yeah.
Actually, no, wait. It's 1/1 for 1 mana.
Yeah, it's a 1/1 for 1 mana. Ugh, everything says Island Walk. I don't see no island here.
It's a bug.
I mean, I guess it still gets Island Walk, but... You would like to do nothing, huh? So drawing a land would be good because I could play Master of Waves and protect the Master of Waves with vialing in a Master of Waves. There it is.
There it is.
Ta-da!
Resignation in 5,
They'll probably take a draw.
4, 3.
So I forgot to mention this in my primer, but you can protect your Master of Waves by keeping the vial on 4. So we're just going to pass. We know they still have 2 donuts in their hand. So even if they had Dismember or something like this, if they try to kill the Master of Waves, I'm just going to respond by vialing in another Master of Waves, and we get to keep all the tokens. Oh, baby. All right.
Do it.
Maybe I shouldn't have shown. No, they know I have Phantasmal Image in the deck. It's gonna go for overkill! Overkill, I tell ya! Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. No good! No good. See, that's what I was talking about. You protect the Master of Waves. I don't really like Dismember right now. I'm like not a fan of Dismember. I think Dismember is good against like Hollow One and Jund, and that's about it. And you're like paying way too much life. I think you're paying way too much life against Mardu Pyromancer. I think you're paying too much life against Spirits. I think you're paying too much life against humans. Dismember, I don't think it's well positioned. That's why I'm playing with Gutshot. That's why I'm playing with Gutshot. So what's good in this matchup? I don't really like any of these cards, to be honest. So we're gonna bring in probably Venser. I mean, we don't really have to bring in anything. I mean, I could take out, like, Cursecatcher or Mistcaller. Just take out some Mistcallers. This makes the deck a little bit more clunky. What can Gutshot hit? It can hit Eldrazi Mimic. Not sure what else it will hit. I don't feel afraid of keeping Peak in the deck because there's a very good chance they're going to side out Chalice of the Void. That card is just stupid. I could bring in some Deprives. It's not great. Like, they're definitely going to be playing with Chalice of the Void. Cavern of Souls. Like honestly, the deck is pretty good by itself as it is. It doesn't need a whole lot of adjustment. Venser might be like, I'm not sure if Venser's going to be really clunky or not. Here, let's take out one Venser. We're just going to have one Venser. I really don't think that I need to board very much in this matchup. We'll see. We'll see what they're going to do, though. Yep, Merfolk. I'm a Merfolk player. I'm Merfolk. That's how they view us Merfolk players these days. So why are they playing Merfolk when there's clearly humans and spirits? What's wrong with them? Do they have a brain aneurysm? I'm just proving them wrong, people. I think Merfolk is better than humans right now. Humans like shot up in popularity, and they're hating it right out of the metagame. Like, humans is getting hurt. You ask humans players, they're not happy right now. They're not happy. Spirits is happy. I believe that Spirits is less vulnerable to Blood Moon and less vulnerable to the hate. Yeah, not a popular choice right now. Well, it's popular to me. I love how they remind me how Merfolk sucks after they lose to me.
Yeah.
I love it, though. I love it. You know, they can bring all the salt to me. You guys have watched the channel long enough. The Salt, I love the Salt. There's Eldrazi Mimic. That's where Gutshot is good. I can't remember. I don't think that there's anything else Gutshot hits. Endless 1-on-1, maybe? But I don't remember. So, I think we're just going to hold up Merfolk Trickster, because something stupid might come down next turn. Like, they can play Eldrazi Temple and then, like, Thought-Knot Seer and attack me for 4. I don't want that. It's not going to be that this turn. What the hell is this? Okay, I've seen this before. Eternal Scourge. 3 mana, 3/3. He can cast it from exile. Fine. I don't care. When Eternal Scourge becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, exile Eternal Scourge. Oh! Oh, baby!
It's about to go away.
That's terrible. Yeah, you better believe it's gonna... I mean, it's better to hit this thing than the stupid Eldrazi Mimic. Okay, so I tell you what we can do. With this trigger on the stack... Oh, no, it's not gonna work. It's not the same. If you dismember the Scourge, then it can kill the Mimic if they let that resolve. But if I exile it, I don't think it's the same. Whatever, let's do it anyway. Get targeted by a spell or an ability.
How about that one?
Pachoo, 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 pachoo. I don't think this is going to kill the Mimic if it resolves. And actually, to be honest, I'm never going to know. So it can still turn into a 3/3, I don't care. Yeah, fine. I'm not blocking it. I'm attacking you for more than you're attacking me. Let's get that out of the way. I have 2 Master of Waves. I'm probably gonna. You know what? I should probably take my video down and replace it with that tech about keeping a Master Waves in hand when you have an Ether Vial on 4. Got to show the benefits.
This changes nothing.
Silvergill Adapt. I think Silvergill Adapt is going to be a good thing to play with the trigger on the stack with my Ether Vial. I think. I want to put... I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to put the Master of the Pearl Trident in play. And the reason is I want to play around Thought-Knot Seer. Lords are so important against Eldrazi. They're so important. And I really want... And if they play Thought-Knot Seer, I really want a Merfolk Trickster, the Eldrazi Mimic, to minimize damage against me. Or if they play Eternal Scourge again, I'll just zap it. So at my upkeep, I'll like activate Ether Vial and maybe tick it up to 3. I'll see. If they don't do anything important, then maybe I'll just play Merfolk Trickster at the end of turn. There's Thought-Knot Seer.
Tap him down.
I'm going to tap the Eldrazi Mimic, so I don't take 4 to the face. I'd just rather not take 4 to the face.
Eldrazi, huh? Not a popular choice right now.
Do you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should just take 4 to the face. I go down to 13, but I tap down the Thought-Knot Seer.
Minimize damage.
Because I can attack back for 8. You know what? You're right. Well, I don't know if you're right, but I'm going to minimize damage anyway.
It'll make him mad. He's tapped out again. Now he can't do anything this turn.
But the thing is, I can't attack into this Thought-Knot Seer. It's hard. I could, for example, take 4. Go to 13. But then my opponent could realistically have a ton of damage on the... Like, look at all these manlands they have. Mutavault, Blinkmoth Nexus, Blinkmoth Nexus. You know what? I think the best course of action is just to rely on our Master of Waves. Hope that they don't have Dismember. They might have other removal spells like Spatial Contortion. That's okay. Okay, look. The Merfolk Trickster has tapped your thing.
He's typing up some salt.
Probably. Bring me the salt. Tell me how Merfolk is a poor choice. By the way, this deck got banned. Maybe this deck is a poor choice. This is what Eldrazi looked like during Eldrazi Winter. Except minus... It used to have the, what's it called? The super powerful Eye of Ugin.
Yeah, that's gone.
To be totally fair, I think this colorless Eldrazi deck is still a thing, and I think it should still be a thing. It's probably not explored enough. Like, I don't really see why it could not be a thing. I think it has a lot of powerful effects to it. can play a turn 1 Chalice of the Void. You can play a turn 0 Chalice of the Void. Well, maybe not turn 0, but turn 1 Chalice of the Void. Turn 1 Eldrazi Mimic. It can have really explosive starts. So,
Finally.
no real hate against this deck. You can check it out. What do you like? So if they take the Silvergill Adept, that's going to be good. No, they don't.
It's alright, you have another one.
So with Trigger on the stack, let's put our Silvergill Adept in play. Just give us some information before we draw a card. Like, if I draw a land here, I'm not going to take Aether Vial up. Okay, we're going to take Aether Vial up. So I can play Master of Waves at instant speed. Because I'm going to play Lord of Atlantis and attack for 8. I think that's a really good line. I'm still gonna play Lord of Atlantis and attack for 8. I think this is really strong. It puts a lot of pressure on our opponent. Like, they can't even play Reality Smasher, and if they play Reality Smasher, they can only attack for at most 14, and then we would kill them. So I think this puts a lot of pressure on our opponent. I think I'm just gonna sandbag the island. Ooh, I wasn't expecting that. Okay, so they're on the back foot. They're in a lot of trouble, and we've got a lot of lords in play. That's really good. We get a Tectonic Edge. That's also really good. Let's play a Tectonic Edge and blow up their Mutavault. Because their Mutavault now has Island Walk.
Merfolk, huh?
Yeah, Merfolk, huh? Their Mutavault was actually a 3/3 Island Walker. No longer, but it was. Oh yeah, sure. Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, you're on the offensive, are you?
Just gonna take it?
Oh, absolutely. This is nothing. They just tickled me. They still aren't even threatening lethal if they play Reality Smasher. So, okay, yeah. Please give Merfolk the respect it deserves. Merfolk, huh? Eldrazi, huh? Whatever. So Merfolk has proven once again that it's Merfolk. And, you know, like we saw here, I mean, I don't know if the Tectonic Edge mattered that much. I don't know if there's going to be a big difference between Tectonic Edge and Mutavault in its place. But I am much more dependent on tapping out and playing down the creatures. I think Mutavault would have been fine. Untap with Mutavault, attack with it. It's good, but it's hard to tell if it would be a win more card because clearly we didn't need it to win the game. Whatever. So that is our first match with our Peak Folk. Peak helped a little bit in game 1. We could be very confident our opponent had air, and we just played around 1 removal spell. And the rest of the deck, well, it's just good. Merfolk is Merfolk. Merfolk Trickster did its thing. Wow. Eternal Scourge, meet Merfolk Trickster. Your worst nightmare. So our lesson today is Merfolk, huh? That's right. Merfolk. So don't forget to be eligible for this beautiful Cursecatcher Artist Altar. Go share those links in the description below. We're going to thank all my patrons supporting me on Patreon. We're also going to thank the manabase.com for being our sponsor. This has been Nikachu with his brother playing Merfolk in Modern.